Thank you so much, Mother. So this is the problem with the facilitators. They'll get into the conversation. That's all. All they know is to speak. Thank you so much. Madan has been reminding me on that. All right. Let me say what I said earlier. We all may drive vehicles, all right. But what drives us is the motivation. And that's the importance of it. Today, you would not be here if only you're not motivated by some fact. Okay. Can be any factor. It can be, oh, my supervisor said Vijay is going to be there. Or it can be like, you want to learn. It can be anything. But something has driven you and hence you are here. While there are so many people who are really, really having a good long nap in the afternoon, till the afternoon they are going to have. Well, you are gathered here to go ahead and learn something. Okay. So I hope I will live up to the expectation. This is the agenda for the day. We'll start with the definition as always so that we would be on the same pages. And then we will see the types of motivation. And then we will see a famous model, which is called as the 4 drive model for motivation. And then I believe in self motivation. So I'm going to give you something around that as well, because we can't be always dependent on the external factors. And then we will see some scenarios which has been given by uh, Vijay as well. All right. So this is where the notepad and pen comes handy. You can even type it, but I would request you, if possible, to write down. All right. Because psychology says when you write down, you include your kinesthetic sense also, and thereby it gets registered in your mind. That is more impactful. Many of the great people in this world, they put down their goals. They write down anything they want to happen in their life. So go ahead and write down if possible. Yeah. One sentence definition of motivation. Okay. Whatever is your version of the motivation, it's absolutely fine. What is motivation according to you? I'll give you some 30 seconds to do that, or maybe 40 seconds. If you have done, you can also give me a thumbs up. Just one liner definition of motivation. I'm going to randomly pick up few names and ask you to read it as well. Okay. And your definition can be completely different from the other person. Yeah. I'm going to start with Vijay. Vijay, is it okay if I include you in this conversation alone, please?
Yeah, not at all problem there. So because
Okay.
I also started with my notepad.
I saw that. Yeah, that's it. Please go ahead.
See, whenever I hear the word motivation, one thing comes to my mind is morale, right? So I don't know why. So it got set with my teacher. Like, so I
Mm,
did my UG in psychology. So that's the first time I heard that the word morale and motivation are somewhat like interconnected. From then on, like word again and again. So whenever I see the word motivation itself, morale strikes inside.
mm. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And that has been something which you picked up from your school, and you also mentioned about your teacher.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Vijay. So now, Sechadran. Sechadran, can you
Yeah.
please share? Yeah.
uh, which drives us to do something which need to be achieved.
Okay. You Googled the definition, is it?
No, no,
Okay, that's your version. All right, fair enough. You're almost, stealing the definition which is on the slide. Okay,
I
just one more.
written in notepad.
Okay, good. I trust you. One more. I give it as an option. Whoever wants to share can share. Let's listen to one more definition of motivation. Whoever wants to share can share. This is how we waste time, people. If you pause for a long time, 90 minutes, everything is on the clock. We're wasting time. You have already written. Read it out. Why are you waiting? Nelson, go ahead, please.
So I think it's writing. I mean, I write as a we have to think big and
Hmm.
believe in yourself and make it happen. That's what I strike when the term motivation called.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Nelson. All right. Remember, I think it was Seshadran who said this definition. That's why I asked him, did you go ahead and Google it? Okay. But his definition is almost in line with it. This is the dictionary definition. Okay. But none of your definitions are wrong. I will tell you why. Yeah. Motivation is nothing but the driving force behind of all our actions. Yeah. Most of the time we do something because of some motive. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you another thing. All right. What motivates you at work? This you don't have to write down. You can verbally say it to me. All right. What motivates you at work? It can be anything. It can be like, you like to see your friends, you have a good bond with them, or it can be the salary, or it can be the kind of work which you feel that you're challenged, you're learning something new. Whatever is your motivating factor, you can go ahead and say that. It need not be necessarily in what I said. Yeah. It can be your own version. What motivates you at work? Srihari.
Learning new things and
Mm. Learning new things. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Let's pick up Vigneshwar. Vigneshwar, what motivates you at work? Because you're pretty new to the organization, I guess. All right. Let's ask
Learning new
Pragati.
things.
Okay, Vigneshwar also stole the same one which Srihari gave, I guess, right? Who gave earlier?
Yeah.
Srihari, I guess. Yeah. All right, never mind. It can be the same factor also. But I want some other different answer. If you have anything else different from what they said, which is learning new things, what else motivates you at work? I will leave it as an open forum. You can answer. Anybody can answer.
So work culture.
Work culture, wonderful. You're getting up in the morning and you want to go to office. Okay, let's assume at least you want to go to office. Okay, what motivates you to go to work? That's the question. All
I
this we
think,
sometimes don't think, isn't it? Yeah, all these questions. Yeah, go ahead, Madan.
yeah, for me, it's my personal opinion. For me,
Mm,
while closing ticket, so tomorrow I will close my ticket. It will motivate me to go to
wonderful.
office.
Okay. Madan, what you said is a sense of completion. Different things motivate people, and for some people, even if they watch a movie, they have to finish it. That's called as a sense of completion. Even in Naukri.com, when you go, they have gamified it. They will show you 50% you have completed your profile, 70% you have completed your profile. What are they playing with this? The sense of motivation. There are different motivating factors. Yeah. So what Madan referred just now is the sense of completion, and that motivates him. So these two questions, does it trigger something in your mind? Are you able to do a self-reflection as to what is motivation? What is driving you to work? At least somewhere something is happening. Okay. You don't have to answer to that question, but hold on to that thought. Yeah. These are reflective questions. Now, I'm going to take you through two kinds of motivation. There can be a lot of motivational types, but with the limited time, we will talk about two types of motivation. They are intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay. I'm going to take help to read this. I'm randomly calling out the names. Okay. In case if I don't call out your name even once, please do not feel disheartened. You can feel free to go ahead and volunteer and talk. Yeah. Vigneshwar never answered, I guess, or Pragadish didn't answer. Someone I called and they were like delaying a little bit. Never mind. Pragadish, go ahead and read this.
Intrinsic motivation. An intrinsic motivated person does not need an external influences to feel motivated to learn. For example, a baby is motivated to know and learn about the environment and does not need to be given an external reward to continue learning.
Absolutely. So, intrinsic motivation is nothing but you don't need any external source at all. It comes from within you. All right. Yeah. Do you have something like that where you don't rely on anybody at all? From within, you're all pepped up, you're motivated. Is there something which is an internal motivating factor for you?
Asking me,
Sorry, say that again.
asking me, Jasmine.
Yes, you can also answer. Yes, Pragdish.
Yes, it's come from the internally
What
from me there.
what did you
And
say, Pragdish? Sorry.
sorry, your question is not understood.
Oh, what I asked was internally from within you, what motivates you?
It's like to creating new things.
Okay. Mm.
like
All right.
fixing bugs.
Okay, nice. Fixing bugs. Okay. All right. Thank you, Pragdish. So there are various factors, right? Like what motivates me today to come for the session is not because of the fact that, oh, okay, this is a training I need to take. I also feel excited because I put together the module depending on the crowd, the audience who is coming in. And especially the scenarios which Vijay gives when I put it in, it's all different for me. Okay. Because the regular crowd whom I train is different and this is a customized module. That's something which motivates me. It comes from him, but then the internal motivation what I have on this is that I am excited to put something new. So that's the internal motivation. Okay. And one such example is already given there. The second one is the extrinsic motivation. Because of some external factor, you're feeling motivated. Yeah. Rahul, can you please read the slide for us?
Jasmine. Extrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation personal needs a external conditioner,
Conditioner,
an a observer price, or a compos
compensation,
compos
compensation,
compensation.
compensation. Yeah.
Learning it itself is not enough to motivate this person. For
Mm,
example, a child who studies so that their parents will give them a console is extrinsic
mm.
motivated.
All right. Thank you so much, Rahul, for reading that. So if you observe this here, a child studies well, or it thinks I will study well so that my parents will buy me a gaming console. Okay. Or you are working hard thinking, okay, somebody will send me an email which will recognize me, which will praise me. So that is an external motivation. Are you able to differentiate between this internal and external? Because between these, nothing is right or wrong. It is just human beings in general are motivated either from within or from an external factor. But is this clear? Any questions? I'll pause by because this is very important as we proceed. Any questions you can ask me. If there is no questions also, it's still fine. Okay. All right. Now we are going to see a famous model, which is called as the four drive model of motivation. I'm going to look at the paper so that I don't miss out the name. All right. This motivation model was developed by Lawrence and Nohria. Okay. These people were authors. They researched on how human beings get motivated. It was developed around the year 2002, but still it holds as a good four drive model motivation for employees. Okay. And now here, the context of this model is not for you to drive motivation. Okay. This framework talks about as an employee, what are the different factors which can help you to feel motivated. And from a leader's perspective, since Vijay is also around, he can also use this four drive model to go ahead and drive his employees so that they stay motivated. It is going to serve both the set of people. All right. So this is the four drive theory of motivation, which was developed by these two authors. Right? I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and read it. So a drive to acquire, a drive to bond, a drive to learn. And this is something new, which nobody mentioned in the couple of questions which I asked, a drive to defend. Okay. We'll talk about each of these parameters. But do you realize that whenever I was asking questions about what is motivation and what motivates you at work, many of you said few pointers around these three squares at least. Some of you said, when I close a ticket, that motivates me. Some of you said, when I go ahead and, learn something new, that motivates me. Yeah. And there has been different answers also. But some of it fits into this theory. Have you observed that? Do you notice that? You can give a thumbs up. Yeah. If possible. And we are going to see one by one these. Yeah. So the first one is acquire. We all know the meaning of the word acquire, right? Acquire means what? Even if you don't know, it's still okay. Yeah, you can tell me and we will try to explain that.
Grabbing things.
Achieving, grabbing things. Yes, that's also correct. Right? Okay, to achieve. So I'm not trying to take just one example of a person just because I want to favor the person. It's just that I say remember, so I'm taking the example. All right. So when Madan said I want to close the ticket, okay, so that's a sense of achievement. And then someone else also said that they like to create new things, sense of achievement. So we all have a drive to acquire, most of us. And we want to acquire money, we want to acquire things, we want to acquire prestige, we want to acquire power. How many of you here are proud that you're L1, L2, or L3 engineers? How many of you are proud? It is okay to be proud. Are you proud of your job? Are you feeling burdened because of your job?
Yeah, Jasmine, I'm super proud.
Wonderful. I liked the word when you said super proud. Wonderful. I can see Pragadish on the video. Thank you, Pragadish, for coming on the video. Thank you to each and everyone who has come on the video. Okay. Palani is there, Gopi Krishnan, Seshadran, Vijay, Krishna, Pragadish, Rahul, Sri Hari, Madan. Nelson usually comes because of the bandwidth he couldn't come. It's still okay. Yeah. The reason why I'm recognizing people who are coming on the video is consistently there are only certain people who come on videos. If you have observed, observe this, okay? This is within your group. Consistently only certain people reply to the WhatsApp messages. Okay. Consistently, if you see, only certain people are going to apply the learning what we are learning here today, because it's all part of our attitude. If you have consistency in some good practices, you will also obviously go ahead and practice the learning from here. So you might think, okay, I'm not a WhatsApp person. And if you have observed, I have never crowded the WhatsApp at all. Have I ever crowded the WhatsApp? I can send 101 information and learning and videos around every topic we are taking. But I don't do that because I know you all are 24/7 working engineers. You have your busy schedule, and getting that 90 minutes itself is challenging. And that's why we have it on a Sunday. I never agree for trainings on a Sunday because this is my church time. Two reasons why I accepted for this training. One was it is because of the fact it's Vijay. Okay. I have huge respects for Vijay. If Vijay is asking something, it's important. Second is I empathize with you all because you are engineers, you're working in different shifts, and coming on even Sunday is tough for you, and still you're ready to come. So I'm ready to come, halfway, halfway. So that's the kind of setup for this, entire session. So I'm just trying to acknowledge people who are consistently doing certain things. This is not to put the others down. This is to make you realize that what they are doing are not small things. Coming on video is not a small thing. It requires a lot of things because, when you're not on video, you have a freedom to go ahead and even fidget with your mobile, or your attention span can go somewhere. But when you're in video, you have a commitment, okay, whether she would be looking at me or whether this trainer will be observing me. No, all this comes unconsciously. So your attention span also goes up. So a lot of things because of that. Yeah. So consistency is the key, people, even to stay motivated for that matter. So let's go back to our topic. Yeah. Now, when it comes to acquire, I don't know if any one of you mentioned that the salary motivates you, but money also matters, right? When you came in for the job here and when you were negotiating, many of you would have asked for your salary to be a little higher, or you would have been happy because it is a hike from the previous organization which you have got. So money is definitely a motivating factor. Do you all agree with me on that?
Yes,
I can
Jasmine.
see. Yeah, Madan saying yes. All right, I can also see some thumbs ups. Thank you. The reason why I'm insisting on this factor money is we all are working for the money. Okay, even this training is happening not free of cost. There is some cost involved. So money is also a motivating factor, and you don't have to ever think that it is bad. Many people, because of the stereotype thought of the society, money is evil. You shouldn't be, leaning towards money so much. That is greediness. All that they would say. Please, let's not think that way. Okay, I would like to use this forum to register this thought that money is good. Imagine if you have lots of money and that money is with a good person. Okay. And that good person can do a lot of good with that money. And imagine the same good person, he has only 1,000 rupees with him or 5,000 rupees with him. Can he do good to the others? He will still try to, but it is not abundant. So money is good. So when you are trying to acquire, when you are trying to motivate yourself, if money is a part of that driving force, it's absolutely fine as long as it's coming in the right way. I just wanted to register that thought here. Okay. So out of the 4 drives, the first one is acquire, and be very clear what is that sense of acquire which you have when it comes to work. Is it the creativity which motivates you, or is it like it's a sense of completion, or is it the money, or what else? Okay. Have this thought at the back of your mind while I run you through the second factor, which is my favorite, which is bond. Okay. How many of you have good friends in your office? You have good friendship in office. If you don't have also, it's still fine, because you might be a person who might be thinking, oh, I want to keep my friendship separately, personal life separately, and profession separately. If it's like that, it's okay. Do you have friends whom you want to go to work and see? Rahul is raising his hand. Or was it a thumbs up? Rahul, was it a thumbs up or do you have a question?
No, Jasmine.
Okay, all right, Rahul. So do you have friends whom you want to meet and catch up for a cup of coffee or just a conversation when you travel to office? If you have like that, good for you. If you don't have also, try to develop healthy friendship in office. It's absolutely fine, because that can be a motivating factor also. All right. Because by nature, human beings cannot live alone and exist alone. We need the company of others. That's why we are called as social animals. Okay. So we want to bond with others and have positive, meaningful relationships. Okay. Do you know what are meaningful relationships? Positive is okay, opposite of negative. Yeah. What are meaningful relationships? Any idea? Meaningful relationships. Do you have people at work whom you can trust? Do you have people at work who can guide you? Do you have people at work who have got your back? Now, got your back is a figure of speech. When I say that, what I mean is you have messed up. Okay. You messed up. You have done something wrong. And this person is there to say, okay, don't worry. I'll take care of this. We'll sort it out. Do you have somebody who supports you like that? Let me say that again. Do you have somebody who you can trust? Somebody who can guide you? Somebody who's there to support you in times of trouble? Do you have people like that at work? If the answer is yes, then you have meaningful relationships. Then you have meaningful relationships. Okay, I can see a thumbs up already there. If you don't have meaningful relationships, try to create such meaningful relationships at work. Because a survey says that a human being spends most of his lifetime in work and work related activities. Let me say that again. A survey says that human beings spend most of their time, okay, in work and work related activities. So majority of our lifetime goes in this. So it is essential that you create meaningful relationships at work. If you don't have a bond, then you will feel at some point, you will feel demotivated. And how can you create these meaningful relationships? You can build trust, you can support them, you can help them. In that way, they'll mirror back your activities in times of need for you. Okay. Any questions so far? We saw 2 drives: acquire, a sense of achievement. Okay. It includes salary, it includes money, it includes any other sense of completion, all that. And then the second one is bond, which is talking about meaningful relationships. Any questions so far? இல்லன்னா கூட பரவாயில்லப்பா, சொல்லுங்க இல்லன்னு.
No, Jasmine.
I I was attending this training yesterday, okay? You won't believe it was a 9 to 6 training. Can you believe that? 9 to 6. It has been so long since I was even in a conference like that. Conference at least different. Sitting in a training for 9 to 6 was very, very tough. It was a classroom session, and this facilitator was the director of Business Networking International, which is shortly called as BNI. And initially, it was very tough because we had to wake up early and it was very far. And then after that, it really picked up, okay, because he created a sense of bond with the trainees. I will tell you how he created a sense of bond, and it is very funny. There's absolute silence, okay? There are 90 entrepreneurs sitting in that room, and this director of BNI is standing in the front. He's the facilitator, he's facilitating. There's absolute silence. Only the facilitator is talking. And suddenly, there is one guy who is opening a chocolate, okay, chocolate wrapper. He's making that sound. And then as soon as he's making this sound, then this facilitator kept quiet. Then this person also kept quiet. He did not open the wrapper. Then he again started talking. He again started opening. And again he stopped. Finally, you know what he did, the facilitator? He came. You want to eat the chocolate, right? Come, give it to me. He opened the wrapper, asked him to open the mouth, and he put the chocolate in. Very, very smart way of handling something. He could have said, "You're disturbing me." Okay, he could have embarrassed him, but he did not do anything like that. Look at the way he created a bond instantly with the crowd. And he did something more with the rest of the crowd. What he said was, if you guys are hungry, sitting there for a long time, you have a chocolate, you want to eat right now, I'll give you 30 seconds. Do that. I saw few people who quickly, swallowed a polo or some other peppermint. All right. So see the way you have opportunities to create bond. But don't go ahead and do this in a meeting when the line manager is talking, like, you are tired. I want to give you chocolate, open your mouth. You have to be careful of the context. Yeah. But there are very simple ways using which you can create bond. You can just ask a simple question to your colleague, how are you today? And he'll be looking at you. Never you ask me that question, why are you asking today? He'll be staring at you initially. But if somebody is really not feeling well, no, that question would be a boon for them. They'll say, yeah, today something like this happened. I feel really, really sad. And after that, that sadness will go because they've entered it out to you. So there are very simple things which you can do to create meaningful relationships. Is this useful? Do you feel this is possible? Yeah. And an
Yes,
act of
Jasmine.
kindness, thank you, Madan. An act of kindness can also motivate the other person, and in time of need, they will come back and do the same thing for you. And that will motivate you as well. That's how meaningful relationships are formed. All right. So let's move to the third one. The third one is comprehend or challenged. I would like to ask you all a question. Do you feel sometimes challenged at work? Do you feel sometimes challenged at work, or do you think, oh my God, again another complaint, another ticket, another escalation? What is your thought process? Think about it for some time. And if you want to answer, you can answer. Do you feel challenged at work? Or do you just say, oh my God, another complaint, another ticket? What is your attitude towards the tickets? Madan, go ahead, please.
Uh, uh, for me, I think it will be challenged because you need to do new things,
Mm,
new tickets.
mm.
Sorry for the disturbance.
No problem. That's okay. At least you are the only one who's answering to my question, so I'm happy about the background noise also. Go ahead with the answer. I can still hear you. You
Yeah,
feel challenged because of the new tickets. Okay, go ahead.
and new things we need to handle sometimes.
Mm.
Some new yeah, new things.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Madan. So if you observed, he likes new things. Okay. So this is again human tendency. We feel motivated when something is new. Imagine, okay, I'm just taking our example of this training. 10 weeks you're stuck in this training, 10 Sundays for staff gone. Yeah. Now the 11th Sunday, when the training is not there, you'll feel really, really good. Okay, I'm going to be very honest. Because 10 weeks you had the same routine. And this, see, Rahul is already laughing. I think I read his mind and said this, I guess. See, this is the benefit of the video. I can see you smile, I can see you laugh, and it really makes me feel motivated, as Vijay said. Yeah. So the 11th Sunday will be a sense of newness for you. Oh my God, 10:30 to 12, I feel so free. Freedom. You can do anything you want. You can sleep. That's the best thing. I came home yesterday so late. The previous day also I had something to do. I came so late. I slept so much. By the time I woke up, it was 9 a.m. today. I was thinking, oh my God, 10:30 I have training, and I quickly did things. Okay. A sense of newness also can motivate people. So at work, if you are not feeling challenged, try to see why are you not feeling challenged. Okay. And then go ahead and try to flip your attitude. How can you do that? Even by rearranging your desk, you can bring newness at work. All right. You can break the monotony. I remember when I was working in Hutch, it is called as Vodafone now. I was in the call center, inbound call center. We used to easily get 300, 400 calls every day per person. Okay. I'm talking about per person. And this is a monotony job. And I used to do this. I used to keep the photos of my family members. It was stuck on a board which was given to me. And suddenly I will take all those photos, bring in new photos. I'll pin it in the right side of my desk. Sometimes my chair will be totally tilted, including my system also. And my floor manager never said anything because I told her this is what I like to do just to break the monotony. Okay. So it can be as simple as this also. So if you're not feeling very charged at work, not feeling challenged at work, go ahead and see what is it. Write down. Writing down helps. Okay. And then go ahead and see if you can break the monotony, if you can bring some newness. All right. And this is again a psychological fact which I learned in yesterday's session. Drug addicts, okay? Drug addicts also feel benefited when they write down. And it was too hard to believe for me. Okay. But it is a proven psychological fact. Drug addicts are addicted to something. Okay. For them to come out of that and do a routine is very, very tough. They are not normal people. But even they, if they really push themselves to pen down few things, saying, okay, today in my routine, I will do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 90% chance is there for them to finish that. So that is the power of putting it down. Okay. That's why I'm asking you now and then to write down. Yeah. Because if you just sit and think, it is not possible easily. So go ahead and motivate yourself also to feel challenged at work and not to look at something and say, oh my God, just another ticket, another escalation. All right. Okay. Let's move ahead to the fourth one, which is a very new one for me also when I was putting it together. Defend. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a very silly question. What is the difference between defend and attack? That's why I called it a silly question. Okay. What is the difference between defend and attack? Who wants to say can answer? Okay, this இந்த மாதிரி கும்பலோட கோவிந்தா ஒர்க் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. Okay, Nelson, go ahead, please.
So if you are 100% correct, no matter what, we can defend the situation. That's
Mm,
what it says. An
mm,
attack is something different. It was purposely uh,
mm,
to deep. I mean, clarifies his entire strength. That's why maybe
mm,
attack.
mm. All right, Nelson, thank you for that. And do you remember our assertive communication module where, I was trying to say, like, you can say no, you can be assertive, but without offending the right of others. Okay. So that's defending your opinion. But attacking is not worried about the emotions of others, going ahead and saying what's on your mind and then putting the other person down. All right. Yeah. So when someone says an opinion quite opposite to you, do you crib about it or do you openly, transparently tell the other person, this is my opinion? Okay, let me say the question again because it's a long question. When someone says an opinion quite opposite to your opinion, okay, do you just listen to it, go behind their back and then talk to your friends and complain or crib about it? Or in the same moment, transparently, you go ahead and say, okay, but I also have my opinion. This is what it is. Okay, what do you do? Think about it. Many a
So
times, what happens is, sorry, go ahead, Nelson. Yeah.
if it's a difference of opinion, even though he has a valid point, I will accept that first of all.
Mm,
Even though if not in the conversation. I will think about it later. Definitely, I will accept if the point is valid,
Mm,
and definitely, and also I won't get the crib on the talk what the conversation made.
mm,
What
mm. All right. That's a good attitude. Thank you, Nelson, for sharing that. And I would also like to highlight that you can have a difference of opinion. It's okay because we all are different. Even when I asked a couple of questions, only two people wrote the same thing, what motivates them at work, which is learning new things. But the rest of the people had different things. Okay. So we all are different. It is okay if you have a difference of opinion. But are you in a position to defend for it in a very positive way, in an assertive way? All right. Are you transparently opening your mouth and saying the difference of opinion then and there if there is a chance? Or are you saying it later without attacking the other person? Okay. Attacking can happen in two ways. One active way is openly saying it, oh, that's wrong. Okay. And the passive way is not saying anything at all and then feeling very sad about it, going ahead and venting it out to somebody else. But many a times human beings do this. We think, okay, I don't have power. I don't think the other person would listen to me. We go into that assumptions. We don't say anything at all. And we pile up that emotion and some other day it blows out of proportion. All right. And this happens with everybody, including me. I also go into assumptions sometimes. Yeah. And that's the reason we write a lot. Yesterday, after the training, when I came back, I had a lot of notes because I was feeling sleepy now and then in the training. Okay. I'm going to be very honest because it was a long training. And when I wrote down, my handwriting became like doctor's handwriting. I couldn't even understand my own handwriting when I came. So I sat down. If I don't write down the same day, the next day I won't remember. So I sat down and I transferred it to another one diary where all my learnings are there. And my right thumb is paining now. Okay, because I wrote so much. Yeah, I'm also getting old. That's also another reason, I guess. The spare parts are all becoming weak. Yeah. So when I wrote down, and then I was able to really, really get so much of value from that training. So my recommendation will be Vijay did smartly something which is business writing skills videos was watched most he sent it. It was a motivating factor for me. And whenever you watch a video or listen to a training session, after this we will share the recording and the slides. Whichever catches your attention, have a notebook only for training. Okay? Pen down those impactful thoughts alone there. You don't have to write all the 10, 90 minutes learning. Whatever topped your mind, okay, whatever caught your attention, 3 or 4 points, enough. Okay, the 3 points if you're going to implement, it's well and good. You don't have to write 30 things. Okay, so let's come back to defend and attack. So whenever there is a position where you believe that your idea is absolutely right, as Nelson said, you have the rights to go ahead and share that and defend your opinion. It's absolutely fine. But how you do that is important. And that's where the assertive communication, which we learned earlier, comes into picture. I'm going to pause here because this was the fourth drive. Any questions on this defend part? Any questions? Think about things which is happening at work and do you want to ask anything around it?
Jasmine, one question.
Yes,
At
Mother.
my initial stage of corporate, I used to no, yeah, I used to attack someone, like not in by verbally, by
Okay.
through chat.
Mm,
My means I will not attack, but they think as I am attacking
mm.
them because in chat conversation they can't feel
Yes, understood.
the yeah, like that. So after sometimes I used to learn. Okay, we need to type in verbally like how to tell in a assertive way or something.
Mm, mm. Good. And thank you for
So
sharing that, Madan. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Continue with
uh,
your.
at initial stage I have done that. Maybe
Mm,
I haven't done wantedly. So
mm.
they think like that.
Okay.
What
All
to
right.
do in that type of cases? There are many
Okay.
new joiners.
Yeah. And you can, since you started it as a, an example from the past, I would like to ask you, how did you correct that? Do
Uh,
still people think that you are not being assertive, or has that changed?
I think many managers or my previous TLs they told we should not tell them like that. In assertive way, they told me
Mm,
we should need to type properly like this.
mm, mm. And
That,
you
that
corrected it.
by Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that's one solution which you have already given to the newcomers here. Okay. Yeah. So as Madan said, when you text or type or email, sometimes it doesn't convey exactly the meaning which you want to convey. If you have an option where you can assertively voice out your difference of opinion face to face, do that. That's the best method because body language, tone, everything comes to picture. Second thing is that is not possible that way. Phone. Okay. Try to pick up the call and talk to the person. Okay. That is also not possible. Then you need to be really careful with your choice of words. Take the help of an experienced person and then go ahead and write it down and send it to the other person. So three different ways of dealing with it. Did that answer your question, Madan?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Madan. And did that question help the newcomers? We have Pragadish, Vigneshwar. Did that help you?
Yes, Jasmine. So it was helpful because
Mm.
I'm also done something previous internship.
Okay. You have also done something. And you're remembering that and you look at his body language. He's like literally laughing about it. Yeah. Okay. So all of you are making confessions here today. Thank you. We all learn from our experiences, including me. So it's absolutely fine. Thank you for sharing that, Pragdish. Okay, the four drives is what we saw. Now the question is, so what? Okay, these are the four drives. So what? These are the four ones. So what? I'm going to play a video now, which will tell you how does this matter? These four drives which we saw, which is part of theory of motivation. How does this matter? We will watch a small video now, and then we will come back to this question. How does it matter? Okay, going to play the video for all of you. Okay, let me come out of this. Sharing the video is always a confusion for me. Let me share the screen. And you can have a notepad and pen again, all right, to make notes from this video so that when we discuss, it'll be easy. Is the YouTube screen visible now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
All right, wonderful.
the #1 serum by Garnier.
நாம் அனைவரும் பல வகை ஆனால் நமக்கு தேவை right.
I'm sorry about that. This YouTube is very fond of advertisements, right? So let me reshare the screen now. In the meantime, just recollect what you learned, okay, through that video. I'm going to ask randomly some questions. Yeah. I'll reshare the screen. In the meantime, keep thinking about the points. Yeah. Just as a recap, I know it was quick. However, whatever we have seen only is shown in that. So though it was quick, it's absolutely fine. Yeah. And in that video, they have kept the manager as the hero of the entire topic. But I would like to ask you all a question, that is it the manager's responsibility always to do something in the organization? Or do you also belong to that responsibility? So instead of the manager's cartoon, you put yourself there. Okay, all the 4 drives need not necessarily the manager alone has to drive. You can also be a person who drives that. Okay, we are also responsible. Thank you, Pragdish, for that. So from the video, what is your learning? You don't have to say all 4 points. 1 point per person is enough. What is your takeaway from that video? What did you understand? Let me start from Gopi Krishnan.
The manager wants to motivate the employees, but really they don't know who to motivate the employees. And one day they read a book that Lawrence, in that they read
The
how
audio,
to.
the audio is not very clear, but I heard that the manager is trying to motivate the employees. That's what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you for that. So, Seshadharan,
Yes. At first, the manager was struggling to how to motivate our team like that.
mm,
Uh, he he thought that only salary alone can't motivate the team,
mm,
and he was thinking how to motivate, and where he find a solution by reading that book. Um,
mm,
and
okay.
he implemented that idea in his team, like creating bonds between the employees and social gatherings like that.
Mm, very nice. Thank you, Seshadharan. I think you kind of like entirely gave a recap of the video also. Palani, what's your takeaway from the video?
Yeah, Jasmine, I'm also same point. The Shashathan told the manager who creating some bonds with the employees, like create the what that building
Mm,
training, like
mm. Birthday
motivations,
cake cutting, all that.
uh,
Mm.
like uh, like like that's all.
Okay. So, Palani, a follow-up question to you. So, though in that video the manager was shown, whatever activities have been done, is it also possible for you to do it as an employee there?
Uh, yeah, sure. I'm also responsible for that. I can also do those kind of things also.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that input. And then if you observe in the defend part, okay, they're also talking about that you should stand up for the company's values. Okay. This networks will also have a vision, mission, and values. Is my understanding right? Every company has it. Okay. And you should also, as a representative of the company, should stand up for the values of the organization whenever you are interacting with clients. It is not necessarily the CEO of the company or the line manager or somebody else's responsibility. The client customer directly talking to you, so you are more responsible for it. So in a way the defend will also apply to that. So far, now is it relatable? How does this matter? This 4 drives after watching the video? And I would also like to say that it all really boils down to why all these 4 drives are important. Okay. and I would like to give you some outputs around it. When all these 4 drives are present in an organization, the first thing is the employees will feel very engaged. Okay. And then obviously when they are engaged, it will increase their effort. These are all outputs. Okay. And employees, when they are engaged, when they are automatically putting in more effort, they will not think of going out easily, because money is not the only criteria. So it will aid retention. You will stay long in an organization. And obviously, it will enhance your persistence. Though many escalations are coming in, you will take it as a challenge. Yeah. And it will drive creativity, because many people already said that I like to do new things. Okay. And then all this will also go ahead and help you to improve your focus at work. So it all boils down to why is this 4 drive important? Okay. And these are the benefits of it. What are the 4 drives? Acquire, then
Bonds,
bond. Okay.
learn, become,
The third
learn,
one is
learn,
learn. Okay. Challenge
learn,
or comprehend. Okay. That is learning also comes under that. The fourth one is
defend.
Defend and attack.
defend. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Now comes self-motivation. Okay. The second phase of the training. Yeah. I will also give you time in case if you have questions around the 4 drives, we will also discuss about it later. Madan, may I request you to read this slide for us, please?
Yes. Self-motivation. Self-motivation keeps life in its positive path, no matter what people say or do to hurt or harm you. Remember that being self-motivated will always give you the boost to stand above all of them.
Yes. Thank you so much. So this is a thought which is shared by Praveen Deepan. Who is Praveen is? Praveen is a seasoned brand and business specialist from BNI, Business Networking International, where I'm also a member. It was a sheer coincidence. I did not purposely pick up this quote. I liked the quote, and then when I Googled who is Praveen Deepan, I came across this point. Okay. So they are saying that life will be full of up and downs. Okay. But irrespective of all that, you need to stay motivated. What can help you is something which comes from within you, that is self motivation. All right. So we are going to see very brief points around it. And this is like a bonus segment for you. Driving motivation was the key. But I feel personally, as a human being, I know in Chennai, there, not just Chennai, okay, in India, if you see the recent statistics, there has been a lot of suicidal cases, okay, suicide cases which has come up. Young children, yeah. Why are they dying? It's not because of the fact they don't have good parents. It's not because of the fact they were abused. Okay. It is also because of the fact that they were in depression. And when they are in depression, they are alone, right? At the end of the day, everyone is an individual. Me, you, we come to this world alone, we go alone. We are not going to take anybody along with us. Yeah. So when you are in that lonely state and the depression is too much and you do not know how to come out of it quickly, obviously you take a drastic decision, and that's the suicide case, most of it. Okay, some other things has some other reasons, but most of it is this. So if only a person is self motivated, they have resilience in place, they will go ahead and come out of it very quickly. And that's why I was kind of motivated to put these points across for you all. All right, we are going to see 5 things around it with some small stories of famous people. So listen to me. So the first one is have a cause in your life. Okay. What is a cause? I'll come back to that. Nelson, may I request you to read the slide for us, please?
So have a dream. Okay. So have a cause. I can't think of a more powerful source of motivation than a cause you care about.
Mm,
Such a case can inspire you to give your best even in the face of your difficulties. It can make you to do the seemingly impossible things.
absolutely. Thank you, Nelson. Now, um, Gandhiji had a cause in his life, isn't it? His cause was to have a free India. That cause was bigger than everything. So when he was pushed out of the train, yeah, he did not just become angry. He channelized his anger into a more possible cause, which is okay, these Britishers ill treated me. Now I will ensure that I drive them away and ensure that India becomes free. And this was a cause which was much, much bigger. But we don't have to necessarily become Gandhijis to have a cause in our life. But do you know what is your purpose in life? Okay. My purpose is to go ahead and be the best network engineer possible and ensure that I, finish all the tickets in such a way that there are no escalations. That can be a cause also. Or if you're a person who has migrated from Chennai down south to Hyderabad, you're providing for your family, you're taking care of them. My responsibility is to ensure that I take care of my family and I love to do that. That can be a cause also. All right. So it need not be necessarily some social cause. But do you know what is your purpose? Do you have clarity? All right. I'm going to pause by now. Can you think for a few seconds what is the purpose in your life? What is the main cause of you doing what you're doing in life? Can you think about it for some time, please? If you want, you can pen it down in your notepad there because you will never do it on your own. Only in these sessions, you get a time for yourself. Yeah. Or your ambition, your cause, purpose in life can be I want to, climb up the corporate ladder and I want to become one of the best managers. It can be that also. In the training which I attended earlier during the floods, Chennai was badly affected by the floods very recently. And there was this BNI member whose car was also lost in the flood. And that was his first new car. Initially, he was sad. And then what he did was he rented 7 boats out of his own money. He had already had a huge loss, okay, but he wanted to just come out of it. Instead of sitting there and crying, he looked out the others, and there are a lot of people who are still not rescued. And the government can't give boats for every because we don't have boat station, right? We have only bus station. So he rented 7 boats on his own. Yeah. And he went to places where there were people who were still stuck in the houses. There was neck deep water. He went to places where there was neck deep water, and to certain areas you can't go in the boat. He climbed down, carried food packets on his head, carried food packets on his head. He went to those houses, rescued them. On the boat, he made them to be seated. To people who were not able to come out because their pets are around, he gave those food packets to them. And then it took him almost like 1 or 2 days to finish all these things. And he said, I hardly slept in those 2 days, but I still was completely motivated and recharged. And how was that possible? Because he had a social cause. He diverted his attention from his present sadness to someone else, which is of a bigger cause. Automatically, he was charged. So that is the purpose of a cause. Again, I'm not insisting you should go and give away your money to others. My point is, see how the transformation happened. So something he was completely occupied. He did not even feel tired. He did not think about himself. That is a purpose. That is a cause. So what is your cause in life? If you can think about it immediately comes. Write down now. If it doesn't come immediately, it's okay. Write down that question and then write down the answer for it a little later. Fine. Till this, having a cause, having a purpose in your life for self-motivation. Till this, are you with me? All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
Jasmine.
for the thumbs up. Thank you. Now the second one is being hungry. Okay. Now what is this being hungry? Let me ask someone else to read this slide for us. Mageshwaran, can you read this slide for us, please? Or Pragadish? Mageshwar.
Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will invariably come your way.
Thank you. Thank you very much for reading that. I don't know if you know this person on the picture. People who follow sports might know him. He is not from the present era. He is from a little old era. Does anybody fancy boxing? Do you recognize this person? I think the name is right there if you really read it. Did anybody spot the name from the magazine?
James Douglas.
Yes, correct. Thank you. So it's written right there. This person is famously called as the Buster. He was not from the recent days of boxing, quite old. Um, this guy had a very important match, and a couple of months before that important match, his mom died. Okay. And his mom went around, kept telling people, my son will win this match. My son will win this match. Yeah. And she was such a motivating factor for him. And then she died. What a huge tragedy is that. But you know what Douglas did? He said, I will win this match and I will dedicate this match to my mother. And he practiced intensively. And 2 months later, the main match came and he won the match and he contributed or, kind of submitted that match win as a tribute to his mother. Now, this is self motivation. He did not rely on any external factors. The external factors were quite opposite to this current situation. But he ensured that he had one cause. He was hungry towards it. He motivated himself. He ensured that he won the match. So this is called as the hunger. All right. So what is your purpose in life? What do you want to really achieve badly? And how can you achieve it in such a way that irrespective of all the external factors, you will still win it? Okay. I don't think nothing can be more um, uh, demotivating than death. He overcame that also. All right. So that's a story for you. You can research about him more a little later. The next point is running your own race. Yeah. This is a very important point. I'm going to share a little more example around this. So Pragadish already read. I'm just trying to include people who can read this one also. Srihari, would you like to read this, please? The first point alone, because the second point is not visible.
Comparing yourself with other is an effective way to demotivate yourself.
Yeah. All right. So comparing yourself with others is an effective way to demotivate yourself. Okay. We are learning about self motivation, but I'm also contradicting my own point and telling you what can demotivate you. Because sometimes we should know what are the don'ts, right? Yeah. Comparison, right from our childhood. If you have a sibling, even your mom or dad, nothing against them, I respect them, but sometimes they would have compared, right? Look at your brother, look at your sister, how they are studying. Huh? Yeah. And then if you're a single child, also problem. They would have compared you to the neighbor's child. Look at Ram, how he is studying. Look at you, how you are studying. You should have turned around and said, Ram's parents are different, my parents are different. That's why I'm studying like this. Right. But jokes apart, comparison has been a key factor in our life right from our childhood till now. Sometimes now, though we are adults, we do it on our own, unknowingly. Let me tell you about this floods. Okay. And I am going to be very transparent here because I know this is a crowd which will maintain confidentiality, and I'm okay to be vulnerable before all of you. In the floods, we lost both the cars. Okay. My husband had a SUV, I had a Wagoner, both were automatic. Until above the bonnet, the water came. There was almost 6 feet of water. Otiambakam even came in the news, the place where I live in. And there was 1 feet of water in the ground floor, and our inverter, our CCTV camera, all that was gone. And we took our pet to the first floor. Luckily, we had a first floor. We had stocked a lot of food, so we did not suffer for food because there were a lot of people who did not have food for 2 days also. So when I attended this training yesterday, I was talking to a lot of people. There was a neighbor who has also come to the training. I never knew that she was my neighbor. And we were talking about the flood story, and I asked her, what happened to you? How was the situation? All that. She said, yeah, water came into the ground floor. You know what? Immediately, okay, I'm going to be very vulnerable here. Immediately, I thought, oh, okay, their house also was affected. That was my first instant thought. Yeah. Look at that funny mind, right? We try to be good, but still it becomes like a villain. I was actually satisfied thinking, oh, not just me, she also suffered. And then she said, but luckily what we did was we took our car and we parked it in a nearby flat on the, higher parking area. So or at least our cars did not get spoiled. Now unknowingly I became sad. Okay. Unknowingly I became sad because my mind was comparing. Oh, she saved her car. I couldn't save mine. Look at the comparison. And I immediately snapped out of it, okay? Because we are training and we are working on ourselves a lot. But that thought flashed in my mind, but immediately I snapped out of it, okay? But then it crossed my mind. So comparison is there in our mind, and if you don't pay attention to it, what will happen is it will manipulate you. It keep demotivating you, and you will also start disliking the other person who's really doing and performing good than you. Does this make sense? That's why I gave my example. Okay, it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. But are you able to catch that thought and come out of it? Then you will not compare, and you will run your own race, because you have your own race, they have their own race. Yeah. So the only thing or person you need to win this race is you. So you don't have to ever compare the other with the other person. Whenever comparison comes in your mind, no, try to have this dialogue in your inner mind. I'm just taking randomly two names. Srihari and Palani, are they the same? Answer is no. Srihari and Palani, did they study the same thing? Maybe yes, maybe no. Srihari and Palani, do they have the same parents? No, right? Srihari and Palani, are they looking identical? No. So when there are so many differences, why to compare? So keep this conversation at the back of your mind whenever you are unknowingly feeling jealous towards the other person because you think he or she is performing well, they are getting all the attention and I am not getting. Whenever this comparison comes, do that. Okay. And I think we have one more point and then we will move on to the scenarios. Take one more step. Okay. You don't have to take 10 steps towards your success. Whenever you want to succeed in your life, the starting point is the beginning. Now, I would like to consider all 14 or 15 of you to be very successful because there are a lot of employees in your organization, but you guys chose to finish this journey of all the 10 skills. Okay. So you have already are walking towards the success path. You are more skilled than the others, but it will remain with you only if you practice. Okay. Yeah. And don't think about obstacles which will come in your life, because life is never a fairy tale story like they show in the movies. The guy and the girl, after long struggle, they'll join and then they are happily married ever after. That never happens. They should show a movie after marriage what happens. That's when you will know it's never happily ever after. There'll be ups and downs. There'll be ups and downs. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to show this person. All of you know him, right? Who's this person?
KFC.
KFC
Yeah,
founder.
founder. We don't even remember his name. We remember only KFC. That's the brand he has created. We look at him, we think of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay. His name is Colonel Harland Sanders. Yeah. And he had his breakthrough when he was 88. So what are we worried about? Any age is not a definitely age for you not to succeed. You can start now and finish the race in a grand way. Okay. Yeah. So take this person as an inspiration. He failed for 1009 times, but he never lost hope. You and I, how many times are we failing and we are losing hope? Okay. So think about all these pointers, the 5 ones. Okay. Have a cause, have a dream, and make it as a very big dream. Be hungry for your cause, run your own race, and then ensure that you just take one more step or baby steps towards your success. You will definitely get there. All right. So self motivation, even out of these 5 points, if you can apply 1 or 2 points in your life, that is fair enough for me. But I'm going to pause by just ask one question and move on to the scenarios. Um, if you have to say that this is my self motivation, do you have something like that? For me, I will tell you what is my self motivation. Um, I lost my dad when I was in seventh standard. I was 14 years old. Okay. And my dad and I were best friends. Whenever I'm feeling demotivated, immediately I'll think about the tragedy. Even from the tragedy, I take inspiration. I just think, okay, this struggle which I'm going through, it is definitely not as painful as the last one, which I've already crossed. When I can cross that one, I can cross anything in life. That's how I stay motivated. Even from the sadness, I have taken some inspiration. So, like that, do you have something to motivate yourself? I leave you with this question. You can just think about it. Okay. So now we saw 4 drives. Okay. We saw 4 drives before we move to the scenarios. We saw 4 drives and then we saw some points towards self motivation. We saw a video. Any questions so far? Yes, no, maybe.
No questions, Jasmine.
All right. Did the session motivate you even at least to 1 or 2%?
Yeah, Jasmine, it's motivating session. Motivating session.
Thank you. Okay, that's the purpose of it was also because driving motivation should drive some motivation. Okay. All right, let's get into the scenarios now. Now, these are scenarios for discussion. We are not going to do role plays. Now, let's look at the first scenario. Get leads input and move yourself in a positive direction. Instead of that, sometimes employees get demotivated. Yeah. However, it should be taken as a motivation. All right. Now, this is where one of the drives which we learned comes in. Can anybody tell me what is the drive? I will list it down. Acquire, bond, challenge, defend. What drive you can use here so that you can handle the situation in a positive way? Can anybody tell me that? Let me say that again. Out of the 4 drives, acquire, bond, challenged, defend, what drive can you use for this situation so that you can handle it better?
Challenge.
Wonderful.
Challenge.
Thank you. Thank you. That was Gopi Krishnan. Any other answers?
Acquire.
How acquire?
So it gets a lead inputs, right? So
Okay, acquire you have taken a direct meaning there. Acquiring acquire relates to achievements. Okay, accomplishment. So I would rather say defend here. Okay. Now defend happens when somebody else is giving you an opinion. Either you can accept it or you can disagree it. Okay. Let's assume there is a disagreement. You can go ahead and share that with the other person, either one to one, or if they have ask an open-ended question, okay, do you guys have any other thoughts on this? Then you can share it. And after that, they're taking it, not taking it, it's fine. All right. So challenged, you can feel challenged, you can go ahead and defend if need be. If you're accepting, then the situation itself doesn't come into as a scenario of problem at all. Right. So different answers, it's absolutely fine. You're all thinking how to apply it. Second one is get co-workers inputs and stay connected and grounded. All right. Mostly people think they are right and fail to watch what others like. So here, this is not the inputs from the line managers or seniors. This is about your fellow co-workers. They are saying something, but you have a difference of opinion. Yeah. And sometimes we avoid to see how they are. Yeah. They are also individuals. They have their opinions and things like here. Let's leave defend. Let's leave challenge. Between acquire and bond, one of the parameters can help you here. Which is it? I made it easier for you. Only 2
bond.
choices.
Bond. Bond.
Bond, yeah,
Bond.
obviously. See, when you're bonded, you will not think that is a different person. He's my fellow being. He's also like me. It's just that he's different. All right. And then when that accepting thought comes, then you will not feel indifferent with the person because there is that bond. You don't have to always like people who support you. Okay. Without reasons, also, you can just like the other person because he's your fellow worker. Right. So bond and then defend or challenged is what we saw. Now the third scenario is being transparent. Okay. Blend of transparency and emotions will be a perfect combo at work. Often employees are afraid to talk transparently. Now, when it comes to transparency, what I mean by transparency here is I have something to say and I don't say it either assuming that I will not be considered seriously or assuming, okay, will I get myself into trouble or assuming that, oh, okay, final word or decision is always taken by them. So why should I even say it? Or it can be more than this also. Either way, what happens is you are suppressing your thought and thereby you're not being transparent. You're suppressing your emotions and it is not good for you in the long run because you will feel that you are alienated from work. You will feel you're not belonging there. All right. So I'll stop by and I'll ask you a question. In the work setup, how can you show transparency? Transparency means being open. Okay. Saying what you want to say and not hiding it. That's transparency. So at work, how can you display transparency? as an individual, whether it's Srihari or Gopi Krishnan, Rahul or Vignesh or whoever it is, as an individual, how can you show transparency? In my session, training session, there were a couple of places where I was transparent. Okay. Can anyone tell me at least one of the places where I was transparent? சொல்லுங்கப்பா 7 நிமிஷம் தான் இருக்கு. I'm
So you are
assuming all of you
transparent about
understand
the
Tamil.
conflict, what you have faced.
Yes, absolutely. Was that Nelson?
Even though it's personal loss, it was more
Mm,
transparent.
yes. Thank you, Nelson. You got it right. Even Madan and I think Pragdish were also transparent. They confessed something, yeah, which they have done in the past, and they were not shy to disclose it here. It takes a lot of effort to do that. They were being transparent. Okay. Now, sometimes we might not be transparent, thinking the others will take advantage of us. Has it happened with you? You're not being transparent because you're thinking, oh, what if they use it against me? Has that happened with you? Talk, people. 5 minutes
I
will
think
finish.
yes, I
Yeah.
think in most of the cases, I used to uh, face previously I used to face many issues. So I will suggest for the new joiners or new members that please don't do this because it will lead to some cause. Because
Mm.
the same thing I have done. So I'll say
Mm.
openly what they think it's
Okay.
their wish. I'll
Good.
say it.
Okay. And have you ever wondered what will this newcomer think about me? Oh my God, Madan, he's a senior. He himself is done like this. Have you ever got afraid thinking that way?
No, Jasmine. I think I came for work, just work. That's it.
Okay, that's good. That's a very good attitude. Sometimes we have fear like that. It's okay. It's normal to have. Irrespective of that, be transparent. Okay. And tell them the intention. Like how I suffered, I don't want you to suffer. So I'm telling you proactively this. And after that, if they don't follow, then that's not your accountability. All right. Okay. The fourth scenario, learn more about your coworkers. Each individual is unique, get motivated within and across your team. And when you learn more about your co-workers, you can learn what they like, what they don't like, okay, as values especially. And you can also know their birth dates, if they are married, their marriage anniversaries, okay. And if it is allowed to wish in your professional setup, you can go ahead and wish. You can even give a surprise birthday cake. It doesn't have to be very costly. Even if you put one, like in the movies they show, right? On the bun, they have one candle and they cut it. Even that is okay. Or a small cupcake and a candle. That's okay. They'll appreciate the gesture. All right. So know more about your coworkers. Some people don't even know from where they come. What is their family background? All right. What hardships have they faced in their life? And sometimes certain people won't talk much. Why are they not talking so much? Is it because they by nature they are reserved? Right from childhood they don't speak like that, or is it something has happened, or they are struggling to adapt to the new place? Do we know about each other? And sometimes we think, we are all human beings. Sometimes we think, oh, I have already 101 things that are going on in my life. In all this, why should I know about that other person? Right? So do the little things. The bigger picture will be automatically taken care. Now I'm going to pause by and ask one question. Do you know each other's birth dates? Not the year. You don't have to know the age. Just the birthday. Do you know? Silence means no. Yet you're
Um,
working as a team. Hmm. Yeah,
I
Madan.
think for me, I know months. I don't know the date, proper dates.
At
I
least
don't know
something
accurate
you
date.
know. At
Ah,
least something you know. Okay. Now that you know the month, get the date also, put it in an Excel. Maybe you become the Spock. And during these dates, send a birthday e-card to them, keeping the entire group in CC. You never know. This might be something which motivates them. It is extra work for you, but if you want to do it, you do it. I'm just offering a suggestion. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Wonderful. The last one. Express gratitude instead of staying muted. Most of the employees stay calm sometimes and they won't express. Sorry, please, thank you doesn't cost you anything at all. Thank you is part of gratitude. And the more you say thank you, the universe actually gives you more blessings. This has been a universal talk that the gratitude opens up the key for more blessings. Okay. I even write a gratitude journal. And I'm even trying to write gratitude that before Christmas, my car will get repaired and come, or at least before New Year. I'm just already writing like as if it has happened. Yeah. And let's see how it works out. If it works out, good for me. If it doesn't work out, maybe God has another plan. That's all. Yeah. So, whenever there is a moment in your organization and it calls for you to say thank you or express something else, saying, like, I really felt happy that you did this, something like that, don't reserve it. Don't think, oh, in a professional setup, if I say this, ice vikran and will they think, okay, I'm trying to take something from them? All that are assumptions. You just say thank you. After that, what they think is not your responsibility. That's their own brain. They can think anything, but your intention was correct. That's all matters. Okay. So be more expressive. That's the reason I tell you all, like even in sessions or WhatsApp messages, somebody says something, say something. Today, two people told me that due to some reason they are not able to attend. Good. At least you told me, right? But last session, nobody told me that. Just because I was literally, pushing them to say, they said, you don't have to always get pushed. I will not be there. Vijay will not be there. These are all some things which has to come from within. Okay. So these 5 scenarios, if you have observed, it circled around all these 4 drives. All these 5 scenarios that circled around all these 4 drives. Sometimes we are defending, sometimes we are trying to bond, sometimes we are trying to learn, and then sometimes we are trying to acquire. All right. So that's all. We're almost towards the end. These are the few things which we saw. I'm going to quickly share the feedback link in the chat. And like Madan, someone else is not able to take the feedback in the chat, I will share it in the WhatsApp also. But for the others, please stay back, finish the feedback form, and then we can call it a day and say thank you. Okay. I'll give you a minute or so. Whoever can finish while you're online, finish the feedback form, because after that you will get into your day-to-day routine. You will not have time. And while you're just filling the feedback form, I'm just going to ask you all that the next session would be the last session, which is goal setting. If you have a goal in your life, okay, and you want the session to be really, really practical, keep that goal clearly defined. Okay. And we will take some live goals and we will work on that and show it in the training. You never know, if your goal is picked up, your life is sorted. No, we will practically dissect how to achieve that goal, give you a planner. Life is sorted. So please define the goal with clarity so that we can discuss it in our next session. I will pause. I can see Vijay, who has been with us throughout the session. Thank you so much spending 90 minutes on a Sunday here, though you have a lot of responsibilities. Thank you so much, Vijay. Guys, you can fill in the feedback form. Vijay, would you want to say something before we close?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a great delight to have you here for the entire session, and you always bring in a kind of positivity. And this motivation session is something like a kind of path breaker, and it's a trend setter for them, because
Hmm.
we all had a basic template even before attending a session, right? It broke the template approach, because this acquire, bond, challenge, and defend, right? So we can become more intellectual in terms of applying this. First, what I get to know about this session is like, so at what stage I am in right now, whether I'm defending, I'm bonding with someone. So out of the scenario, you made them to analyze at whether they're able to identify that that position. See, I basically get motivated out of these folks around me. They feel no, at times, no, you're humble, or you're even bluffing. No, it is truth actually. I'm getting motivated from a guy who is 10 years younger than me, or 15 years younger than me. That is truth, because their power, their energy, the way in which they think at this age, it's all really, it's a mark actually.
Yeah.
So recently, I got motivated from one of the chap at my home right now. So like we've been traveling like here
Mm,
and around, and so initially he's a swimmer. My son is a
mm,
swimmer,
mm,
and he had certain thought. He's under 9 only,
mm,
but he had certain restriction and thought. He was very much closed, and he was into that defensive approach
mm.
of winning a medal, right?
Okay.
So out of that, 40, 60 participants, he want to win a medal. That is his goal, right? So out of the four-stroke, there are four strokes like butterfly, breaststroke, backstroke, right? So out of that, he picked a very choosy stroke, and he got one medal, right?
Very nice.
So whatever he want to
Nice. Very
achieve, he
nice.
achieved it, right?
Wonderful.
But this is not his medal actually. So this is
Mm,
not the way in which I want him to move ahead, right?
mm,
So I want him to participate in all type of games. I want him to mingle, right? So suddenly what happened was he found a few school members, his own school members spread across here and there. So unknowingly we got a click, we got catched up with them, and then they planned for a relay, right? They said at least four members are needed for relay, and he suddenly thought bonding with them. So, like, they're all from different branches. One is from Mathur, one is from Kolathur, another one is from Perambur. So they're like complete strangers for us, right? So he just changed his thought process. Okay, so I have to restrict with this alone. This is silver actually. So
mm,
and then he thought of bonding with people, right? He
mm,
broke that
mm,
idea of
mm,
defending and thought
mm,
of bonding with people. And
mm,
finally, what he achieved is
mm.
this one. So this is a gold actually.
Oh,
So
wow.
so he actually changed that thought process.
Mm,
Actually, the kind of effort whatever he put in this bonding is very less, because
mm,
relay means you need
mm,
to pass on only one endpoint to another endpoint, wherein
mm,
to get the silver he need to cross the 50 meters, one
mm,
and then two, right?
mm,
So by applying this the street smartness,
mm,
he broke that defensive approach and then bonded with people and
mm,
got something out of it. So I think these guys, every young person whomsoever around me, right? So I see them as a kind of motivators. So Madan, Pragdish. So each and everyone, if you ask, they have their own stories to talk about, right?
mm,
So I want
mm,
them to completely break out, and something about jazz as well, right? So whenever we meet up at office, it'll be a
mm.
gala time during Christmas. Even
Yeah.
like it is a kind of it's a very surprising parallel coincidence which is happening. The session is totally coming to an end in a Christmas season. So
Yes.
right, it's a kind of gift for us.
Yeah.
So knowledge or a skill, whatever we transfer virtually, is also it's a very big gift. Though we can't see that in eyes, we can achieve and imbibe. You can inculcate all these concepts at your work, and your life itself will become like a gift, right? So
Yeah.
be a giver. That is one more great learning that we got from this session. So thanks a lot, Jazz, for sharing all your thoughts. And is it absolutely okay for you during the Christmas time, because it's
Yeah.
falling
Yeah.
on?
24,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
24th, this is Sunday. Okay, 24th is fine because 25th is Christmas. And I was just thinking, guys, only if you are okay, okay, the rest of the crowd, because you might not celebrate Christmas, you might be from a different religion. Just out of the sportiveness, I'm asking, if you have red, green, or white, and you want to wear that during Christmas, I'm going to wear a Christmas cap for sure. I already have one. And if you want to wear, it's fine. And then we will take a picture so that it'll be a Christmas spirit also. I leave it up to you, okay? If you are motivated to do that, I have given you three color options, yeah? Red, green, or white, because these are all Christmas colors. You can have a collared t-shirt or a shirt, but no round neck t-shirts, okay? So that we can also finally take one picture and say that we finished Christmas. See that Christmas tree already coming up from Vijay. And we will say that we finished it with the Christmas spirit. Okay? Think about it. And if you're fine, we will do. And then I will remind you in the WhatsApp group also. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for that inspirational story from Vijay from reality. Congratulations again to your son, Vijay. Thank you for sharing the story also with us. Yeah. See you all. Have a good Sunday. Bye, people. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.